is live in Paris in France, where the family of our late ambassador to Paris, Nathi Mthethwa, has now concluded a ritual to fetch his spirit. Newzroom Africa's Simon Marks is there for us and joins us now. Simon, good afternoon to you. Very difficult for the family. What's happened there?
And can you give me a sense of just how important it was for you and the family?
Yes, well, we're just getting a briefing, Stephen, because the Fetching the Spirit service has just, the ritual has just ended. We were not permitted to film it, but the ambassador's son here is just giving us a media briefing.
It means everything to us, you know. We are a people that pride themselves on who they are, and this is part of who we are, and we can't lay him to rest without going through this process. It's very crucial and it's very sacred to our people.
And can you give us a little bit of insight into just how the family has been? Obviously there have been more members of the family arriving in the past 48 hours. Just the reaction it's been to be able to see everyone gathering here in Paris. I know at the memorial yesterday you said the importance of unity for the family and how a strong part of your identity as a family that is. Just why is that so important for you and the family?
It's particularly important for our future generations. The bond that we have as a family, the Mthethwas and the Buthelezis, and in particular in such times, we are able to come together and see each other through this dark moment.
And just the reaction, obviously there'll be a state funeral that was announced by the president. Just your reaction to that, what does that mean for the family?
It means a great deal. It means a great deal for our family. My father dedicated his entire life from a tender age of 14 years to the liberation, the struggle and the emancipation of our people. So for the state to honor us with a state funeral, befitting of the work that he's done over the decades, we welcome that and we appreciate it, and I'm sure it goes exactly with what he stood for as a person.
So can you give us a sense of what emotions were stirred up as you went into that hotel and then visited the actual scene? It must be quite a traumatic experience.
It's extremely traumatic. We were granted access to the room just to witness his last views. We held a small prayer as a family, and you know, just trying to absorb this sense of reality that we faced with. So it was quite emotional. It was quite emotional, and of course, it's not easy to see where his last breath was. You know.
So you were actually taken to the 22nd floor, to the room that he occupied that night?
That's correct. That's correct. We were granted access as per our request, just so that we can have that prayer and just try and, you know, settle any unanswered questions within us, you know, also to be able to report back home that we have done that. It was an emotional journey, you know.
And did you come away with any greater understanding of what took place? Because as we heard yesterday at the prayer service, from yourself and from other speakers who spoke so emotionally there yesterday at the funeral home, there is still just this sense of not understanding why this occurred.
Well, no one will really understand at this moment, you know. For us, it's just trying to get a step closer to closure more than anything. In terms of the technicalities of what happened there, you know, we're still relying a lot on the authorities and professionals to give us a more detailed briefing on that, you know. But for us, as we mourn, we are seeking closure, acceptance of what's happening, then of course answers will be clarified at a later stage. But right now what's important is closure and laying my father to rest.
And obviously so much focus, of course, on the repatriation, that closure. With a South African investigator here in Paris, will there be a presence from the family remaining in France to have that coordination during this investigation, to be able to be kept abreast of the latest developments?
Those details will be given to my uncle, Dr. Sfisa Buthelezi. He'll be able to divulge much on that. As I say again, our concentration is getting through this period. We don't want to focus our energies too much on things that we can't control, but right now we're just dealing with the repatriating process and laying him to rest.
Mr. Mthethwa, thank you very much for talking to us.
Thank you, sir.
So, Stephen, that was Ambassador Mthethwa's son, as you heard, just emerged from the Hyatt Regency Hotel here in Paris, and the Fetching the Spirit ceremony has occurred. It has taken place, and so the diplomatic cars here are about to convey members of the ambassador's family back to the ambassador's residence, ahead of which, of course, they will then, after that, of course, they will then head to Charles de Gaulle Airport in Paris for that repatriation flight. I mean, the extraordinary piece of information that we learned in that interview with the ambassador's son is the fact that the Fetching the Spirit ceremony, which we had understood was going to take place in the inner courtyard of the hotel, the location where the ambassador's body was found at 11 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday of last week. In fact, the Fetching the Spirit ceremony took place in the room on the 22nd floor that the ambassador booked, and from which, of course, he plunged to his death either in the late hours of Monday night or the early hours of Tuesday morning. But resolving this and having completed this Fetching the Spirit ritual, the way is now fully clear for the ambassador's remains to be conveyed back to Johannesburg, and assuming all goes according to plan and everything is on time, his body should be returning to OR Tambo Airport along with members of the family tomorrow morning at about 9:10 South Africa time, ahead, of course, of that state funeral that is going to be taking place over the weekend.